One thing that seems to have caused a bit of controversy in dental offices especially is or were the studies that it was back in 2008 that showed that there was a possibility that wearing a night guard, a bruxism guard, could potentially aggravate sleep disordered breathing, obstructive sleep apnea. And I think that one needs to put things into perspective. On the one hand, that doesn't say that it causes it, but on the other hand, if we're looking at a patient who has been bruxing and we're making them a night guard, perhaps the first thing we should be thinking is, why are they bruxing? And of course, current literature doesn't support the fact that it's caused by a compromised airway. I think most people, anecdotally, and I don't know if that's the right word for this really, but certainly from a practical experience standpoint, most dentists who look at it on a daily basis would certainly see an association. So, excuse me, I think that it's certainly worth considering to have a patient sleep tested prior to an oral appliance, prior to a bruxism guard or a night guard or being made. I think it's just a prudent measure to do that, and it certainly would cover us for any claims afterwards that maybe we should have known that. I will just conclude by sharing an experience that I had that I think, for me, put it into perspective, and other people may have had the same experiences or experience, and that was when I was working in a sleep clinic. This was years ago. But the reason I remember this is because there were two people in the same week. In fact, they were just a couple of days apart. I saw two dentists, and they were not related to each other and worked in different parts of the area, not even the town. Both of them came in with their wives, and both of the wives were the driving force since their husbands snored. And the first thing that I noticed was that both of them had made their own, because we're dentists, made their own night guards for bruxism. And so this was a few years ago, so maybe I would have thought twice now, and obviously I did suggest that they have a sleep test done. I was in the sleep clinic, right? But the first thing I said is, well, why don't you leave the appliance out for a day, see if that makes any difference. One of those people came back the following day. Basically his wife was dragging him, and she said he didn't snore at all. It just went away. It was magic. Do we really need the sleep test? And I said, yes, you probably do. It would be prudent to do that. The other guy phoned 2 days later and said that he'd found that he didn't snore at all, and felt that he didn't need a sleep test, so wouldn't be coming back. Was very grateful for the fact that I resolved the snoring for him, which of course I didn't. But so those two things stuck in my mind. You might just, if that comes across the table for you, then it might just be worth trying it. It is important, of course, to get patients sleep tested, because as soon as we get into this where they're snoring, then immediately they're in that sort of that sort of sphere of potential airway compromise. So that, I keep using the word prudent, but it's prudent to do so. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you. Thank you. Talk to you later.